When is the best time for you to announce how much money you have on hand? If you're going to do a big press announcement as a political party, you'd think, I don't know, like a Tuesday afternoon so everybody can see just how well you're doing. Tuesday's the best day, right? Because Monday, everyone's kind of sluggish and like, oh, we're back from the weekend. Tuesday, everyone's officially back in the week and you got the rest of the week to talk about stuff. Now, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those are really, really awful times because everybody's out partying, right? Well, the DNC has decided the best time to do it was in the middle of the Democratic debate, because the numbers are really bad. Wow. The Democratic National Committee has $8.7 million on hand and $7 million in debt, according to its October Federal Election Commission campaign finance report. So no wonder they wanted to release this when everyone was distracted. They basically have, in terms of assets, $1.7 million. That is not a lot of money when you realize how much they're going to need in order to beat Trump, but factor in Donald Trump's record-breaking haul. RNC raised $25.3 million in October, 3 times as much as the Democrats, who raised 9. Furthermore, the RNC has raised $194 million in 2019 so far, with the DNC raising less than half of that at $75.5. Sean Spicer, Trump's former White House press secretary, also weighed in on the DNC's latest numbers. Well, let's do this. Impeachment backlash fuels record GOP fundraising. Massive $61 million haul in the bank. Here's the thing. Now, you might be saying, I think it's fair to point out that when you compare Donald Trump's fundraising to the individual Democrats, there's a massive disparity. Like Trump's raised, 150 some odd million bucks. And then they look at Bernie Sanders, it's like 30, and they're like, whoa, well, hold on. The Democrats are split, so that money is being spread out. And if you were to smash all those numbers together, you'd get a much higher number, but surprisingly, still less than Donald Trump. So here's the thing. If we want to gauge how well they're doing, first, I would say polls be damned. Okay, get me swearing. YouTube doesn't like that word. But forget the polls. I look to the money, people who are going to put their money where their mouth is. And it's fair to say that the GOP definitely has that, despite the fact, get this, that the other day, I commented on a story from Politico about a massive, possibly a record-breaking dark money scheme from the Democrats. So mind you, while we are seeing Donald Trump do really, really well among small and medium donors with some large donors, the Democrats are doing miserably. But surprise, surprise, along comes a spider. A dark money network providing nearly, like $160 million, I think it was, and about $50 million came from a single entity. So that's how the Democrats make up for it. They claim to be opposed to this billionaire money in politics. Oh, sure, up until the point where it benefits them. The Examiner reports the RNC fundraising juggernaut, fueled by a GOP backlash to the House impeachment effort to force President Trump from office, scored another record in October and pushed the bank account past $61 million. And guess what? No debt. The debt-free RNC told Secrets exclusively, I believe that's Open Secrets, right, that it brought in $25.3 million in October and has $61.4 million cash on hand. That is massive. For perspective, that is nearly triple what it raised in October 2017, the last non-election October. And the money on hand is the most since 2012. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel has been setting fundraising records month after month. And when the Trump 2020 campaign effort is concluded, the GOP team has raised nearly when it has been included, the GOP team has raised nearly $400 million. In September, it raised over $27 million, another record. This is insanity. These are massive record numbers not seen ever. Now, I don't know about adjusting for inflation, but Trump is setting record after record. I tell you what, man, I think the Democrats need to be lulled into like a safe space. That's what they're doing. The media is wooing them and jingling the car keys, saying everything's okay, stop crying, stop crying. That's what they're doing. But we know everything's not okay. It's like story after story. Just the impeachment is failing. Support for the president is going back up. Record fundraising off of the impeachment. And the media is just dangling those keys, shaking them while the Democrats are going, hey, just don't pay attention. Don't mind the man in the corner. By comparison, the Democratic National Committee was $7 million in debt last month. Officials, however, note the DNC is competing with over a dozen presidential candidates for donations. Also at this point in President Barack Obama's first re-election in 2011, Obama and the DNC had raised under $150 million. So Trump is still Wait, hold on. Trump's nearly 3 or 4 times as much as Obama did. But yes, that's the point I was trying to make, right? The DNC, a lot of that money is going to these other party members, but I gotta stop. We're not talking about Trump's haul. When it comes to just what the GOP raised, it is substantially larger. What is that? 6, 7 times as much money as the DNC? Trump himself has raised hundreds of millions of dollars. So don't compare. I do not believe it's correct to say the DNC is competing with a dozen presidential candidates. That is not the case. Trump is making most of the money. The party credited support for Trump and anger by many Republicans at impeachment. Its anti-impeachment effort called Stop the Madness has brought in 75,000 volunteers. Wow. Talk about a backfire. Has Schiff accomplished anything? No. Are we any closer to knowing anything about what happened in impeachment? No. The bombshells are fizzling. There's nothing here, and Trump is weaponizing it to make more money. You know, you get what you deserve, Democrats. Congratulations. This is your leadership. While Democrats are focused on their sham impeachment charade, Republicans had another record-breaking fundraising month in October, the best off-cycle October in our party's history. When you look beyond the Beltway, it's clear that the American people are sick and tired of the Democrats' baseless investigations. In 2020, voters will choose results over the Democrats' polarizing political rhetoric. And the RNC is in the strongest position possible to re-elect President Trump and Republicans up and down the ballot. Look at this. Ron McDaniel tweeted, "While House Democrats tried to distract you with their charade, the Dow hit 28,000 for the first time ever. Real Donald Trump increased healthcare transparency. Ivanka Trump is fighting for paid family leave. The Trump admin never stops fighting for you." I gotta say, listen, I will absolutely concede to the point. I mean, it's not much for me to say it because I don't have Trump derangement syndrome, but I do believe the Trumps and their administration are absolutely fighting for America. I do think Trump's motivations are much, I would say a substantial amount of what Trump is aiming for is to be the best. I think he wants to leave this as the greatest president and he wants to have his name in shiny gold letters. That's just my opinion. But in the end, I often question what's more important, the results or the motivation. If Trump wants everyone to fawn over how great of a job he's doing, that's on him. If the end result of that is that he's actually done right by the American public, well, I mean, what are you going to say? I mean, we can criticize motivations for sure. But look, the economy's doing great. The Dow's up. And the American people seem to be behind Trump outside of those with TDS and who only watch CNN, for instance. I think there's criticism to go around for the executive branch as a whole. And I think it's fair to point out that I've definitely given credit to Trump on certain areas like meeting with, Kim Jong-un and trying to end a lot of these conflicts. It's clear that Trump really wants to solve a lot of the problems. Is he this altruistic man who's, a shining beacon of hope to help all of the children? I do not think so. I think Trump's saying, I'm the best. I can solve this problem. If you can't do it, get out of the way. I'll do it. But I'm not going to complain, I guess. It's like, okay, get the problem done. I don't care how you do it. Just go do it. Well, actually, I take that back. I do care how you do it, right? So again, I think it's fair to, the point I'm bringing this up because I agree with Ron McDaniel. I'm not saying Trump is doing the right things. That's the different point. But I'll tell you what, the people who oppose and really hate the president and want him impeached, they really believe he's evil and he's doing nothing to help anybody. No, I think Trump's actually trying really, really hard to improve things. It just doesn't mean he's always right. And I got to say, there was a Twitter thread earlier. Trump supporters, the high-profile ones, like not all of them. I'll give you there are zealous Trump supporters who are very culty. But the people who are thought leaders on the Trump side are very much smart about how they deal with Trump and his faults. Because I got no problem criticizing the dude for his attitude, for some of his foreign policy. And there's the thing. The one big difference between some of the higher profile Trump supporters is they will agree with me because they know it wins ground with moderates. But they will disagree on whether or not the policy is working. The Democrats don't seem to understand this, and that's why they lose people like me, and that's why I think Trump is raising so much money. Because I'll tell you what, I'm looking at two people. One person screeching, "Orange man is bad, the worst, he must be impeached." And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Like, you got to tell me what's going on. The other guy's got a beer, and he's like, "Listen, I hear what you're saying about Trump and your criticisms, but he's not that bad." And I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds reasonable. Like, I'll hear you out. So it comes down to this. You got two factions trying to ask for your money. And the Democrats have frizzled hair with dark rings under their eyes and a giant sign saying, the end is nigh. And people are like, dude, calm down. On the other side, it's some dude in a red hat drinking a beer and is like, they're crazy, right? And I'm like, they are crazy. He's like, yeah, come over here, have a beer with me. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, so let me tell you about the things I like about Trump. And I'm like, I don't really agree. And they say, I can understand why you find fault with Trump for those reasons. I can agree with that. And that's where we're left off. And guess what? It is the smart play. And it's clearly working. As the Democrats screech and howl into the wind, I'll tell you what. I'll end with this final thought. Trump is breaking records. Every month I'm going to do a video where I'm like, oh, once again, Trump has shattered our fundraising record. The Democrats are trying to spit on Donald Trump, but unfortunately, the wind is blowing in their direction. Congratulations. You just spit into the wind. Stick around. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly. Surprise, surprise, the next story, another victory for Trump on taxes. I will see you in a few minutes.